Calling to order the Guilford Selectboard meeting at 6:30. And welcome to the people here in the town office and all of you in Zoom land. We're gonna get started, and so Chip.
All right, yep. Vermont's open meeting law 1 VSA 312H requires that the public be given a reasonable opportunity to express opinions on matters considered by the board, provided order is maintained under reasonable rules set by the chair. The select board invites public comment on each agenda item, an approach designed to support public engagement and meaningful participation in the board's decision-making process. To help keep the meeting on track, time limits will be applied. Comments should remain focused on the agenda items being discussed.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Do we have any changes to agenda order? Okay, public comments, announcements or comments. Anybody here think of anything you want to tell everyone?
Happy birthday, Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Wanna sing?
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miranda. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, very
so
nice.
much. It's so great to have a birthday with a zero because people keep on making such a
Just celebrate
fuss,
forever.
like all month.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so any public comments? Let's see, we heard from Dan Ingold that there might be icy roads. So if people notice that the roads are icy, Ellie, did you want to mention what to do, what people should do?
Sure, if there's concerns over the roads or you see something blocking the road,
Trees down.
While Jim is away, you're welcome to contact Dan. And then Dan will contact me and we'll be able to get in touch with the highway crew. But I do know that Ryan.
No, Dan Ingold, the
Dan
emergency
Ingold.
manager. Do we have his,
Hub managers, I'm hoping, have Dan's contact information.
Mm-hmm. Right, I'm just not sure I have it right in front of me now to,
Let me see what I got.
to give to people, but we'll get that up soon.
You can certainly probably look at the town website,
Oh,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, somebody will supply that.
And Brian is heading up the highway crew while Jim is away, and Ryan also had a conversation with me today, so he's aware of possible weather issues, and he'll be out early, probably looking around.
Okay,
Do you want Dan's number?
I think,
It is on the
yeah,
website under government and then down to emergency management. And it's on that page, but I can tell you what it is now, if that helps anybody. It's
good.
802-380-5400. And that's Dan Ingold.
Mhm. Okay, I mean, I don't think it's going to be freezing tonight, but if people are out and they need to drive, the visibility is nil. Okay, next item is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of 10/27/25.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion of it? Okay, let's see, so Tara isn't here, but everybody else is, so all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Okay, nobody opposed and nobody abstaining. So next we have finance, and Tara isn't here, so I'll follow through the warrants unless somebody else wants to read them.
You're good.
Okay, well, I move that we approve the following warrants. Payroll week 10/26/25 for the sum of $8,020.24. Payroll week 11/2/25 for the sum of $8,279.85. Payroll week 11/09/25 for the sum of $7,732.20. Expense warrant number 2609 for $27,651.29. Expense warrant number 2609A for the sum of $2,415.78. And everybody, catch your breath. Expense warrant number 2609W is $4,146,294.04 for a sum total of $4,200,393.40. So is there a second?
I'll second
Okay, thank you. And so here are some notes on the warrants. There's Allstate Paving, $9,636.94 for the completion of the Guilford Center Road paving job. Chapel Tractor for the repair of 7 trucks, $3,194.87. Garland Plumbing for the garage boiler emergency repair, $1,190. Dollar Cleaning for 3 months of cleaning, $1,279. Roberts Fuel for diesel, $1,291.97. And then there's warrant 2609A for ACH payments, M&T Bank credit card, which is tech fees for the town office for $833.95. V-Tax, what is V-Tax?
Payroll tax?
Oh, payroll tax.
Yes.
Okay, for $1,500. And, okay, the WSESD payment for the schooling of our children and other people's children for $4,146,294.04. So that is this week's all. So we have moved, yes, a question.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Ellie, the warrant for the ACH invoice list, is that the credit card fees for paying that we have to?
It's paying the charges for the credit card. So if you had an opportunity to look at the warrant, what it is, I created the warrant. As I explained, I think the last select board meeting, I can't print a warrant out unless I actually print the checks.
Uh-huh.
The M&T credit card and the V-Tax are done through the computer ACH.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't have you approve them and then and me print a warrant unless they're approved. So that warrant is for you to approve, and then tomorrow I can go and actually pay the credit card and the ACH tax.
Okay.
So that way you approve it first, and then because with the checks, I write the checks, we do the warrant, but the checks sit here until you all approve, and so I send those out afterwards. So it's a little different process.
I missed that last week because I wasn't here. So
Okay.
thank you I'm sorry to have everybody
No problem.
listen to that again.
And so
No,
that's
it's good to
for,
listen to it.
you know, the tech, like Microsoft and Google
Yeah,
and Adobe.
right. Okay, fine. I mean, I did read the warrant, I just was, and I saw the number, I was like, why is it a separate warrant? So thank you.
Okay,
That's fine.
so are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor of approving the warrants, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstaining, okay, we have approved the warrants. Now, we're moving on to updates and reports. And I know our town administrator has been busy.
Yes. So, let's see, the day after we last met, I participated in a AARP walking audit and demonstration project workshop, which was actually really interesting and cool, and I went out and did a walking audit.
Could you just explain what a walking audit is briefly?
It's sort of designed more for towns with infrastructure, sidewalks,
Oh.
traffic lights, stuff like that, blinking
I get it.
walk lights, but you can go into a place, just any place, you can do it just out here on School Road if you wanted to. And just think about how it feels to walk in a place. Do you feel safe? Do you feel like the traffic is really close to you? Do you have a safe place to walk? And you can go from there for grading on infrastructure that exists for pedestrians or cyclists or people that are on wheels. So,
What was the
Andy.
takeaway?
The takeaway, well, it was always, as always, good to be with other people from other towns who are thinking about this kind of stuff. I did it by the library in Guilford Center, so I noticed that there's not a shoulder to walk on, there's not a sidewalk, people are going very quickly by, even though the speed limit is 25 miles an hour. And there's a radar sign telling them how fast they're going, stuff like that. The takeaway is that there are people out there and designs to improve the situation for pedestrians and cyclists and motorists too.
Which we learned from the bicycle and pedestrian scoping study.
Yes. Anyway, so.
So, thank you. You can go on to the next item now.
Yeah, it was just, okay, here's something. Okay, so, Ellie and I participated in 2 Vermont Local Government Institute sessions. The first was on meeting management, and we started the finance section, talking to people from VLCT about budgeting, finances, things like that. That will continue for another several sessions. We had our IT consultant, John Winkle, in the office to install hardware and software, and he got a lot done in one day that he was here. So that was really good. Things that I have been working on that aren't quite ready to come to you at a select board meeting. Salt bids, still reviewing the professional audit, looking at the reserve fund policy update and working with the auditor and select board members on that. We have started preparing to produce the town report for 2026. So that involves getting reports from various social services and everybody that has a report in the town report, and a lot of other information. So that is starting to be compiled.
And isn't it true this year that all of this has to be done earlier because of the early bird town meeting?
Yep, town meeting is on February 28th, this Saturday. So our deadlines for producing the town report are a little bit, and also pre-town meeting is on February 12th this year, due to other things that are scheduled and just when town meeting is falling. So our deadline to put out the report is a little bit tighter, that's true. Budget workshops begin this Wednesday at 9, and there will be at least 3 more after that scheduled. We'll talk about that at the budget workshop. Hopefully everybody can make most of them. We've had a staff member request an update to our personnel policy, so that's something that I've been working with the HR person from VLCT on possibilities for that. It's a person who would normally work on, well, they don't actually work on Friday, but the town office is closed on Friday, and so the question posed to me and to the select board was, what is a weekend? Is Friday a weekend for the town, for the personnel policy? So that's something that I'm still mulling. But I know we have a Friday holiday coming up here.
Oh, God, we've done that before.
Yeah. I have been, along with Ellie, helping members of the new AFD #1 Prudential Committee. And they are doing swimmingly. Patrice Pennington is the clerk. And Jocelyn Fritz I've been working with on their website. They're creating a whole new website all their own. So this is really great, getting them a little bit more independent from the town's website. I think that's gonna be a really great improvement. And eventually when their website is up and running, they'll be able to take online payments for sewer bills.
Wow.
Yep, so that is very exciting. And that is my report, but Jimmy, who is not with us here today, gave me a list of things for his update. The band rail, AKA Guardrail, reset happened on Thursday on Tyler Hill. Our guys did the flagging and the work was done. I haven't heard any reports about it yet. Jimmy looked into the fog lines that people have been asking about for the newly paved Guilford Center Road section, and there's basically one company that does that, and they will be here in mid-May of 2026, and they understand that we are hoping for attention from them. So Jimmy, a couple weeks ago, we talked about, he got an estimate from lined well drilling, and then he thought maybe that the well had replenished and it wasn't as much of a hot emergency, but late last week, it started pulling silt again, so something needs to be done and it's become more of a pressing issue. And that's on the agenda for later to talk about that. He sent a tractor to Pinnacle View in Walpole, throwing codes and warning lights. It's under warranty, including the trucking it both ways to Pinnacle View, so that's really neat. There was a lot of storm damage on Halloween night. The crew went out early, cutting and picking up trees. I know there was a lot of Green Mountain Power effort there too. Because some of that stuff was on the power lines. There's one down right now that's on a telephone line. So that's not a power line, and it's a telephone line. So last I heard this morning, he said we have to wait for the telephone crews to come out and deal with that, because it's not a power line. Jimmy met with the superintendent of schools to go over snow event procedures. So there was, at the last meeting, he brought up a situation on River Road where there was, due to some of the work that Green Mountain Power and their subcontractors had done, a little bit of the road had been made a little bit more narrow than he thought it should be. He met with Green Mountain Power and Buck Adams and Grattan to come up with a plan, and they met with the residents right there at that spot, and they cut 18 inches more out of the shoulder and restored the road back to what Jimmy thought it should be, so that two cars can pass each other on that spot on River Road.
Great.
Yes. And there, Green Mountain Power is still working on culverts, adding the Oxford comma strikes again. Culverts, graveling, and grading are complete. Electrical work is continuing from Green Mountain Power on River Road. And that is the highway report.
Well, thank you so much for conveying all that information, Erica. It just always amazes me how much work your job entails and how varied it is. And I guess I'd say the same for Jimmy.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now we're going to have a treasurer's report. So Ellie, do you want to sashay up here?
I'd like to stay here if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
And
Look at
actually,
that.
after the last select board meeting, I had two comments of when people stay back here, actually, the mic doesn't pick them up. So maybe I will come forward. So I feel like I'm close enough at this point. I'll just talk up. Erica, thanks for talking about a lot of things that we're doing together. That's great. I appreciate that because I didn't have any of that on my list of things to talk about. I wanted to let the select board know that we've got some revised budget status reports for both the highway and the general funds. Let me just start with the highway real quick. As I was going through it, and I apologize I couldn't get to it until today, I realized that the very first number of 983,457 was not put in to the highway from the general. So I went and moved that money. So that's now in there, and so you'll be able to get a better figure for what the revenue is and compare that to the expenses. Okay?
Mhm.
In terms of the 003,
Can I just ask a question about the
Yeah,
highway
go ahead.
budget first?
I was just thinking that we should go through that a little bit more. Yeah.
So the one question I had was on the culvert line.
Yep.
Culvert's less than $25,000. We spent 80% of the budget.
Yes.
And do you think we're done for fiscal year '26? Or do you?
I mean, I think Jimmy would say you never know,
Yeah.
but I believe he felt like he was buying enough stock for what would be appropriate for this year.
So that's good.
That's probably not going to go up more, but it depends on what happens weather-wise and what happens to the culverts.
And otherwise, my just general comment on that is that really good job on keeping it under budget.
Again, I think last time we went through some of the higher numbers, and I had stated that they were an annual amount, like the radios and repairs, and there was a few other ones.
Yeah,
So-
I'm aware of that, but I
Okay.
just didn't know about that particular number.
Any other questions about 009 highway?
Oh, yeah, I have one question.
Yes.
Steve Lemke, River Road. When you said you moved from the general to the highway fund, was that 983,000?
983,457. So that was the approved budget that was to get moved or was assigned for the highway.
Right.
It just comes out of 003.
Okay.
So it gets moved to the highway, and that's their budget for the year.
And when would that normally be moved if,
Beginning of, probably in July. I just didn't do it. I forgot to do that.
So you just collected the taxes.
Huh?
You just collected the taxes too, so.
Yeah, I collected the taxes for it. Okay. So 003, as you know, we have a check to pay Wyndham Southeast School District. I believe last select board meeting, I said that payment was higher than last year, and I was incorrect. I went back and looked at all the payment history. This payment is less than last year's payment
4
to, last year was 4.2 something. So we are a little less this year with money going to the school. Again, one of the corrections I made today was I moved that education money out so it doesn't show in the very top line because it's not part of our budget. We're kind of like a pass-through with Wyndham Southeast.
Mhm.
We have no control over that money. It just comes in through the taxes and we have to pay it out to Wyndham Southeast. And again, I took the highway, as I mentioned before, the highway money out, the 983 plus thousand, to give you some more realistic numbers in terms of what we have here. I also want to remind folks that that very top number, the taxes general, is not what we've brought in, but it's what's been billed. That's a big difference. So it's what's been billed.
The budget or the actual?
The budget is correct.
So that's,
That whole budget section right there is correct.
Yep.
But that very first number is what's been billed for, it is really. So you'll see that number go down. So that means I've got to look a little harder to find the numbers to tell you what has actually come in. And I've done some of that work. So let me just,
also you haven't got the social service or the transfers out of there yet.
they have not been transferred yet.
And
That's
some of that won't
generally, those things that are approved in our appropriations, they get moved this time of year, usually in November. We haven't moved them yet.
be. Right, got it.
So part of kind of where we're at, I did not make copies of this because I just finished doing this, but as a request from the audience last time, I put together a sheet that looks at all of our bank balances. So if tonight I can just read these off, but then in the future I will actually give you these once a month if that sounds appropriate to you, so you all know where we're at.
It's good.
The general checking account, let me start by saying I've got the account and then I've got all the funds associated with that account. And because very often it's not a one-to-one balance, one-to-one correlation, and then the balance of that account. And when I say account, I'm talking about bank account. Okay, so for instance, the 003 general checking account, the funds that are within that bank account are the 003 fund, the 004 fund, the 007, the 009, the 010, the 011, the 012, the 014, 016, 206, 301, 302, 045, 405. These are a lot of numbers, but altogether I think there's 19 funds. And I can certainly, on a separate sheet, give you a list of all those funds. That balance currently is at $8,315,159.05. So in that this bank account still has the money that we owe to Wyndham Southeast. It has not been pulled from our account yet, our bank account. Associated with that account is the town sweep account that has $12,000 in it. Weatherhead Hollow Cemetery Savings Account has $5,245.28. The Weatherhead Hollow Investment has $8,962.04. Warren Wilder Savings, $3,383.66. Warren Wilder Investment is $7,134.63. The fiduciary funds, which have 5 different accounts, and these are generally the ones that are with the trustees of public funds. There's a balance of $21,346.50. Edward Jones, which is the Bullock Fund, the scholarship fund, has a total of $174,243.72. Guilford Conservation Fund has, bank account has $8,368.35. Our HRA account has $233,132.44. And our Municipay account has $100 in it. Because that's the account where people can pay online. It goes into that account, and then a couple times a month I transfer the money into our regular account. And the base amount that we keep in that account is $100. Let's see, our water account, I didn't get the time to print out any stats regarding the water account, except for we just have one customer who owes us $746. I'll try to get some more information about that enterprise account next time. In terms of delinquent taxes, I know Sheila, you had some questions, but let me start with, since July 1st of this year, we have brought in $209,307.10 in delinquent taxes.
Is that included in the 952?
What's 952?
Taxes general?
No,
Where does it show up?
it doesn't. Because, and I've got the statement from Bonnie somewhere. The delinquent taxes get posted to the year that they belong to,
Oh,
okay?
that's
And then,
complex.
it is complex, and then the delinquent principal shows up more as a cash flow. It doesn't show up as a true revenue within this year. I'm still trying to understand this, so that's about all I can tell you at this point. I can also tell you that you had a delinquent tax report, I believe, last time. And I had said there was $564,865.19 outstanding delinquent taxes. That report was on 10/30, so that not only was everything before 2025, but also anybody who hadn't paid by the deadline for 2025 taxes. So the new report that I have in my hand is 10 days later, and we are down to 507,677. So in that short 10 days, we got in 57,178. So part of that is the first delinquent tax that went out, the delinquent tax notice, and people were like, holy moly, I didn't pay. I better get in and pay. So that's where that comes from.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we don't show delinquent tax as a revenue in a specific year, but it goes back to each year that it's related to, delinquent tax revenue, it just gets posted and then it shows up as cash flow. Why do we include delinquent tax administration as an expense that is covered by taxes that are collected?
But where are you?
So this is on page
3, yeah.
4.
Page 4.
Shows delinquent tax administration expenses.
Hold on, let me get there.
And we've always said that these expenses are offset by the taxes, the tax sales and fees and interest, right? Oh, 33510, delinquent tax administration.
No, it says, okay, this is all about tax sales.
Where does that revenue show up?
That revenue shows up on page 1, tax sale income. So those are expenses here
Yeah.
that should be covered by delinquent tax sale.
So I see the fees, delinquent tax interest, delinquent tax penalty, but no delinquent tax.
No, the delinquent tax, now you're looking at the very first thing up here?
Yeah.
Right, well, this is the one that's related to tax sales. This up here, there's delinquent tax delinquent tax interest income.
Yep.
So that is the interest
Mm-hmm.
from the delinquent taxes.
So
That,
the interest and the penalty covers the,
the interest goes into our budget.
yep,
The penalty does now go into our budget
yep,
because, I don't take the penalty.
yep.
It's the principal part that gets posted to the year
Okay.
and doesn't show up as a revenue within this current year. I'm doing my best with this. It's a hard
No,
concept to understand.
I know, but I mean, we've sort of.
It has a lot to do with how you can look at different reports and understand, it's difficult. But you'll see it in a balance sheet.
Right. So it's not apples to apples and oranges to oranges, it's
No.
like a mix.
It's because
Because
it's
we sort
not
of-
cash accounting.
Yes.
It's accrual accounting.
Okay, I mean, we've sort of said in the past that the interest and the tax sales, all of our expenses are covered, and they're not, there's no one-to-one relationship there.
I need to look at that.
Just, yeah, I mean, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that we haven't oversimplified and misstated it, which I think,
Well, there's the interest that we get from delinquent taxes,
yeah,
and then there's the interest that is charged
That we don't get
which is
sometimes.
No, we do get it, but it's this interest here isn't a one-to-one with the interest on the first page.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Now, Sheila, I know you had some other questions that you gave me. Would
Well,
you
those
like
are related to the warrant itself.
Okay. Well,
Do you want me to ask you those? I mean,
some
okay,
of these are related to the delinquent taxes.
yeah, they were all related to the delinquent taxes. Let me just get back here.
You asked about some small amounts.
I did. Okay, so. So the very small amounts on the delinquent tax warrant, like 22 cents here and 18 cents there.
Oh, right, I remember.
Those were
Some of those were because of rounding.
the rounding error.
Some of them were because people wrote a check out for the wrong amount.
Uh-huh.
I had a couple people who came in and, went to pay from a delinquent tax bill, but it was 2 months old. They weren't looking at the most up-to-date thing, so that a couple of them didn't pay the correct amount.
Okay. The next
Yeah.
is a bigger number. So we had last week 565,000 in delinquent taxes. We now have 500 and something less. So the question is, how much is under some agreement to pay?
Mm-hmm.
And is this the total due? Now, I forget the question about past delinquent taxes. But it seems like we are now at roughly 50% of our annual budget could have been covered by delinquent taxes.
So we
Annual
have
003 operating municipal budget, not everybody.
we have.
Excuse me.
I made a quick checklist, and I think I've got 12 or 13 folks who are on payment agreements.
Of the 20, 30 something delinquent taxpayers.
Well, you have to remember that the people who are due, there are some people who just became due for our 1 year due.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on them to start getting a payment in place. They haven't had to have a payment in place because they weren't 1 year due and they weren't.
Yeah.
There was no pressure.
So
Honestly. So we have about, my first calculation, I remember it was like about $8,000 a month that's due to us due to tax agreements.
Mhm.
And I will be contacting folks to update their agreements because now if they've got an additional year on there, we've got to redo the numbers.
So my question is related to, I think when we were doing the tax sale, we had $432,000 in something like that in delinquent taxes. We're now at approximately $100,000 more
Mhm.
total, which is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. You have, some of it got paid off, and then we added a bunch. I think you'll see that number go down probably more in the next couple of months than the rest of the people will probably be in for the long haul. But just to get back to your percentage, 507,000 out of, if you look at our budget, that's 36% of the budget. So it's not quite half.
Yes.
So
Okay. It's still a chunk.
it is a good chunk.
And I don't want to imply that you're not doing everything that you can to get it.
Oh,
It's
no,
just
I don't think you are.
I mean, we have $4 million that we have to pay to the school district, whether or not we collect taxes to cover those $4 million.
Right.
The town does, and we have operating expenses for the town that just are not getting covered, or that are getting, never mind. Okay, of the delinquent, the other question that I have was related was, of the payments that have been delinquent for 5 or 6 years, are any of those properties under consideration for the next annual tax sale?
So,
And it's a little early to answer that question, maybe?
no, not really. So the next tax sale, anyone could be considered for the next tax sale if you're at least 1 year delinquent.
And you have not gotten an agreement.
If you haven't talked to me about updating your payment agreement to include your 2025 taxes, or if you haven't made an agreement, but you have made an agreement, but you're not following the agreement. In other words, you're not paying the specified amount and you're not paying it on a monthly basis by the due date.
Okay.
So there will, once I finish with all the revised bills I'm getting, which is another thing I just want to talk about briefly. My goal is November is the time to really talk to folks about revising their payment agreements. So I will put out a note, and I have handwritten that out of a bunch of people already, because the first delinquent tax notice went out the 1st of November. Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
anybody's delinquent.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And I do just want to say, so right now I'm spending a lot of time dealing with weekly downloads from the state because people are still filing their homestead late. And that creates a cycle of, I gotta print out the bill, I gotta send it to the individual taxpayer, and usually I send along a thing that says, your bill has been revised in the following ways. Either, you've got a late payment for homestead, your homestead is switched from non-homestead to homestead education rate, you've got a state payment, you've got a credit, you've blah, 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 blah. So this all takes time to do, and I just want to urge people to please try to file their homestead declaration on time, and the additional form if you're interested in getting a tax credit on your tax bill. Because otherwise it just takes more and more time, and when we send out revised tax bills, we need to be able to give people time to pay them before penalties are incurred. So the later this happens, the more issues come up, and especially issues with escrow companies. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Because it's a back and forth, it's a who paid what, my tax preparer didn't do it. There's a number of issues that come up when people don't file on time. So I'm just encouraging folks to do that. And we are having SEVCA come to the town office in January twice. One time might be at Brattleboro Community Center to help people with this process. They will even do it for you if you can sit with them, but they are willing to come and talk people through it. so folks can get their forms in on time, as well as your taxes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's reminders all over the place about doing your homestead tax on time, and
I think I've said enough.
Well, thank you, Ellie. I just can't thank you enough for carrying that weight. I mean, it's fairly mind-boggling. So,
Sometimes for me as well.
no, but I would recommend that people who want to know what goes on, watch the movie of the meeting and listen to it and try to wrap their minds around it, because it's really hard. So thank you. And this is new that SEPCA is coming to Guilford. I know that they were.
Yes, this
in
is a new
Brattleboro.
partnership we're hoping to continue.
so I'm good.
And they're totally willing to come, and we'll set up appointments with people for them to meet with them.
To meet with them, and they also, they have income guidelines, but they will do your taxes with you as well. It's amazing.
I was assured that any meeting they have here is going to be free.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, well, that's taxpayer money well spent to support SEPCA,
yeah.
really. Okay, so, getting back to the agenda. Okay, well, that ends our updates and reports, and now we're on to new business. And the first area of new business is the library trustee vacancy. And we have a report on that, and then that will be followed by a motion. So, do you want me to handle this, or do you want to?
No, I can do that. I
Okay.
have all the papers here, and I've been in contact with trustees, with Laura Lawson Tucker and Judith Sirkin and Amber, of course, at the library. So Nika Fotopoulos, who has been a trustee for several years, has found a wonderful new home just over the border in Brattleboro. So she's moving out of Guilford and has offered her resignation effective November 16th. So that's not just yet, but she wanted to let the select board know. And the trustees at their last meeting discussed a new person that they would like to recommend to the select board to appoint to fill Nika's vacancy. Nika's term is up in 2030, but whoever the select board chooses to appoint could fill the spot until town meeting of this year, and then voters will have to vote on the floor on that person to then finish Nika's term. So the person that the trustees, and I'm kind of excited about this, the person the trustees are recommending to appoint to the vacant spot on their board is Emma Hallowell, who is a teacher at the Guilford School and just a really great community member. And she has sent a statement to everyone.
Oh, great.
Do you want me to read it?
Please.
Okay. Emma says, I'm a local parent, teacher, and Guilford enthusiast who is excited to put some energy into supporting our town library. I've been a teacher at Guilford Central School for 13 years, teaching our younger students in grades 2, 3, and pre-K. In fact, I had the incredible privilege of starting our pre-K program 9 years ago, and am very dedicated to the field of early childhood education. Before becoming a teacher, I worked at a few different experiential education centers where kids engaged in their environments in active and hands-on ways. I hope that as a trustee, I can be a conduit between the Guilford Free Library and the school. I have no doubt that my extensive experience in education will make me an asset when thinking about programming for children, summer camps, and hopefully with engaging more young families to use the library. Thank you for your consideration.
This is so exciting.
Yes.
So, before we handle the motion, I just know that the library will be thanking Nika. She's been a wonderful trustee. And this is really exciting to have Emma. In addition, Emma, I mean, just parenthetically, Emma is going to be handling the childcare for town meeting this year, which I'm thrilled about because I have done it. And so, okay,
Before we make a motion, I wanted to ask a question that might inform the motion.
okay.
So I know that VLCT said these are, her position as a teacher and the library trustee, they're not statutorily incompatible.
Teacher at the school has nothing to do with the library.
Yeah.
I asked them because Laura, the trustees asked, I don't know if she's going to do it again this summer, but in many years past, she has been a summer camp counselor at the library camp. So the trustees have direct supervision over employees of the library. So that is where that question came from. So I don't know if Emma's planning on doing that this summer.
I just wondered if there was I'm assuming that town appointees sign the conflict of interest statement.
They should do, yes.
And the trustees probably have signed a conflict of interest statement. Does she need to do that? And do we need to stipulate that she has a separate kind of conflict of interest statement from?
So only the
And I don't know.
select board members in Guilford sign.
Have to sign one?
Yes, that's something that we worked on
Mm-hmm.
back and forth. And that was the result, is that only select board members fill out the conflict of interest
Okay.
statement. Everybody who serves on a committee, commission, or board is bound by our personnel policy, which has conflict of interest
In it.
in it. And I think if it came down to it, Emma would take the open meeting law, conflict of interest stuff that the LCT offers, and she could recuse herself from any decisions about her
Summer
own employment. Yeah.
So the reason I asked that question, because I was wondering if we should say something about that in the motion.
No.
I,
Emma didn't say if she was planning on doing that again this summer. It's very part-time, seasonal employment, and I just don't know.
I mean, it's not that she shouldn't be employed, it's that she should avoid voting
Right.
to employ herself.
Yes.
Related discussions, right? So
could we allow the library to deal with that? I mean, like send a memo.
Yeah, I think
Send a memo to the library just stating what the concern is and
Yeah, sounds good.
not have it be
Yeah.
under our purview. That would be my
Yes.
thought.
I agree with that
Good idea.
because the trustees supervise the employees, and there's also a summer camp supervisor who supervises their employees. So there's some level of removal from the trustees anyway. And I did talk with Laura, who is the chair of the trustees, co-chair, about
Okay,
that. So
so I'd like to move that the select board appoint, I guess, the select board appoint Emma Hallowell as the new library trustee to complete the term of Nika, whose last name I can't pronounce properly,
sorry, it's Fotopoulos, but
Fotopoulos.
it's until the next election.
until the next election.
Yes, not
Is there a
full.
second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further conversation? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, and so congratulations to our town for having Emma at the library. That's just great. Okay, so the next order of business is the delinquent tax warrant, which discussion will be followed by possible action.
So we actually just mostly discussed that.
Yes,
So I move that we submit the delinquent tax warrant to the town clerk for the town's records.
I would second that. We just talked about it, right?
Right.
We didn't?
No,
We talked about some of the details on the
Oh.
warrant.
this is something the treasurer, which is me,
Here.
has to give to the delinquent tax collector,
Which is
me, but it has to be officially done
Oh,
on
yeah, I saw
paper.
this, okay.
And it's to give the delinquent tax collector the means of which to collect the taxes from individuals by any means possible
Yeah.
that are legal.
No extortion?
No.
Okay. Okay,
And the town clerk has to record it and put it into the land records.
That's your letter, okay.
yeah.
okay, and so how should the motion read?
Well, I think, well, if we read, I think it's okay, because we're submitting the warrant. And the warrant reads, by the authority of the state of Vermont, you, Ellie, are hereby commanded to levy and collect of the persons named in the list herewith, which is 9 pages long, the sum of money annexed to the name of each person respectively, and pay the same to the treasurer of the town. So the delinquent tax collector is authorized to collect the taxes the treasurer supplied the numbers, the delinquent tax collector collects the money. And if any person neglects or refuses to pay such sum with fees, you are hereby commanded to distrain the goods and chattels of such delinquent person, and the same dispose of according to law for the satisfying of such sum, blah, blah, etc. So I think we kind of got it.
Okay, so is
I
everybody
love the language.
comfortable? I know, I mean, distraining chattel, she can do that with her lasso. Okay.
It's like escheat, distrain and
Escheat, right.
escheat.
Okay, so all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have passed that motion. Okay, so next in new business is the FY '26 sand bids, for which there will also be a motion.
And I got this one as well. So we had an RFP put out and we had 4 respondents. It was a sealed bid. It was a sealed bid process, and so they were due at noon today. I had 3 people drop them off in advance, and 1 person came at noon to sit with me. Jimmy is in California, but he was available on the phone to go over the bidders and the numbers. It came down to just the numbers, so our bidders were Zaluzny, JP Trucking, Mitchell Materials / All States, and Cold River, which is in Bellows Falls.
It says North.
No, sorry, yeah, that is in Northfield. Cold River's in Northfield. JP is in Bellows Falls. And Zaluzny, being in Vernon, also bid the lowest, as they did last year. And so that won them Jimmy's recommendation to the select board to go with Zaluzny's sand bid for this year.
Yeah. Zaluzny's has $15 picked up, which is not the lowest.
Right.
And they have
Because-
$11.54 pickup on price per ton, which is also not the lowest.
JP bid the lowest, but they're the farthest away.
And so the transportation fee, the
Yes,
trucking fee
absolutely.
would offset.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, I move that we follow Jimmy's advice and pick Zaluzny for the salt bid.
I'll
Sand.
second that.
Sand.
Sand, sorry.
Still working on salt.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of that motion? Aye. Okay, opposed? Okay, we're good. Okay, now it's the town garage well situation, which is pricey.
Yes.
And I mean, we prayed for rain, we got it, but it didn't seem to soak in the problem.
Yes.
So Erica, do you want to present what we are facing?
Yes, so Jimmy worked with Lined to get this quote. The quote is $15,545 to drill down another 265 feet deep in, deep, they're going from 280 to 545. That's $17 a foot. Lined did this work before for the garage, and they're the only local folks that will do this work.
Did you say 585 feet?
545.
545?
Yeah, because that's.
You'll reach hell.
Ours is down at least that.
Oh, really?
And we haven't seen any fire and brimstone yet.
Well, the town garage,
Maybe
they'll
we
know
have-
what to do. Okay, a moment of levity. Okay, so, what is the final bid? I mean,
Well, it's not a final bid because they won't know exactly how much it's gonna cost until they get in there. There is a hydrofracking possibility if needed, that adds $5,500. Is used if adequate yield is not obtained in drilling. So there's a lot of variables here. But the basic story is that the well is, something's going on with the well, it's not pulling water.
Did you
Which we talked about
determine,
before.
did you determine a source of funds?
Oh, source of funds. Well, I talked to Jimmy about it, and it could either be capital fund or the highway surplus fund. And I think that those two funds are very close in balance. Where did I put
Couple $100,000 difference. So the asset management fund is $607,000 and the highway surplus fund is $810,000.
Right, but we haven't done the transfer this year yet to the asset management fund.
Well, I know, that's why I'm suggesting that I think it should come out of the highway fund. Did Jimmy have any opinion about that?
Jimmy, he says it's fine, either way.
Do we
There's
need,
plenty, he does need a new truck.
Yeah, we
This
still
year?
got plenty of money for that.
Yes, I think so, in both of those funds, he could use capital / highway surplus for that.
so in the motion, do we need to indicate the source of funds?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I can make a motion.
okay, please.
I move that we accept a proposal from Lined Well Drilling at an estimated cost of $15,545,000 to be paid from the, with the understanding that the amount may change depending on findings while on site. The amount to be paid from the highway surplus fund 010.
I think you should add the potential hydrofracking.
The amount may change depending on findings while on site.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, so you moved that and I will second it. Is there any further conversation?
I was just wondering, they're going down in the same well, right? They're just drilling it deeper.
Looks like it.
That's
I mean, is it less expensive or just as equally expensive to put in a new one?
Probably less expensive.
To do
The
a
first
new one?
200 feet are done.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean, okay.
I think that the recommendation was based on familiarity
Yeah,
with the well that they had themselves drilled.
oh, okay.
Sorry, the first 280 feet are done.
Okay.
Madam Chairman,
Oh, yeah.
Steve Lemke, River Road. Did anybody check, has there been any building? I mean, I'm a little confused why a well that's 300 feet deep suddenly starts to act up. Now, I don't know anything about wells, but quite often the source of water gets impacted, so what I mean by that is that somebody's built something or there's no fire hydrant on that property, is there anything? There's no strange water source or anything else that's not visible to everybody, it's just a sink and hoses and stuff.
I think
Unless the
it's,
school is,
I think nothing has changed in that area. No fire hydrant, no new wells
No building,
elsewhere, no
yeah.
buildings in the area. There is a wetland in between the school and the garage, if I remember correctly. They did do a path around the school, that's the single,
This is not a sudden issue, though.
Yeah.
It has for a long time been kind of,
petering out.
yes. Like wash one truck and then you have to let it rest.
Okay, so the last question is, when you say for a long time, you're talking about 6 months, you're talking about 6 years?
More like years.
Okay,
Problem also could be the pump itself,
yeah, I know, that's.
rather than the depth of it.
Well-
They'll figure that out when they.
Yeah, they would have the capacity to remove the pump,
Right,
and, I mean,
and that's $9,500 of the bid anyways, replacing the pump. At least the way I read it, right?
in the event that they have to do that, right?
So they say they have to dig deeper no matter what, that's the
plan when this.
And then they may have to replace the pump, or is that always a given?
I think that's included in the original bid. 9,500 plus
Yeah,
4,500 is
good.
only 14,000.
Is there any more discussion? Okay, so are we prepared to vote?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I certainly think that Lines will be diligent in trying to keep the costs down to our town. They're ours.
Yeah, no, I
We
don't
are
think you're gonna
theirs.
find anybody better, to be honest
Right.
with you. They've got the experience, the insight, the input, they're top notch in my estimation.
Okay, well, with that in mind, let's vote to approve this warrant. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I didn't mean warrant, I meant, motion.
Proposal.
Yeah, proposal.
Yeah.
Goodness, maybe by the time I retire, I'll know how to do this. Okay, so let's see. So we've done the garage well, and Erica, the guardrail, have we already voted on the guardrail?
Yes, I don't think there's anything else to vote on. You
So are we nostalgic about the
approved it on
guardrail?
September 22nd.
Has it been done yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
done on Thursday, and
Okay.
this is a budgeted item. There's $25,000 in the budget line, and this was $10,000.
Yes, well, colleagues, is there any other business here? Okay, do we have correspondence?
Oh, yes.
Lots of it?
No.
Okay,
BDCC has written to the select board to invite you to a Southern Vermont Economy Projects Municipal Leaders Network. Economic Development for Every Town is on Tuesday, December 2nd, from 9 to 12 in Wilmington. And there is a website that you can look at for more information.
and that's in Wilmington?
Yep.
And it looked like a good thing to do,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say.
well, we can probably put together a carpool. Okay, and so this is just for select board members,
Municipal.
municipal employees
Southern
or
Vermont Town
volunteers.
Leaders.
Okay. Wow. Okay, good to know. Any other correspondence?
No.
Okay, so then I will review the actions we have taken at this meeting. We have approved the minutes, approved the warrant. We have appointed a new library trustee. We have approved the delinquent tax warrant. We have approved the FY '26 sand bid. We have approved the action on fixing the well at the town garage. And that covers that. Actions to be taken. Do we have specific actions to be taken that anybody has identified? Okay, then I guess we can entertaining motion.
I move that we adjourn the meeting at 7:40 PM.
7-4.
I know.
Perfect, I agree. Move.
Okay,
Did you second that, Chip?
I seconded it.
okay, all in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Yes, good meeting,
Oh, aye.
everybody.